The Language Waves, a three-part podcast on life, language, and beach Vacay.
Wow! I feel so hungry.
It's so delicious.
It's side dish.
This?
I don't know.
I thought this is the sauce.
Yeah, this is the sauce.
Wait, guys,
Take a picture first.
Alright.
Of course.
Of course. Go.
so nice. Smile, guys. Mary Rose,
How about us? Bali.
take two. This is real. Maurice and Love Life. Okay. Later. Later.
How about us?
Later.
So, are we all good?
Yes.
The food is very nice, and then the setup is also good looking. So
Very
So before we dig in, can we bless the food?
Sure.
So, can I ask Angelo to
Please may let us stand up for our prayer. Father, Son, that is, O Lord, in this day gift which we are about to receive from thy bounty through Christ our Lord.
Amen.
Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen. Alright, so let's dig in.
But before that, let me take a photo.
Yes, of course.
Everyone have 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, next pose. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay.
Yay!
Can someone pass the rice to the respective person?
Because you have the utensils in here. Okay. Just me.
Rice? Okay.
Here you go.
Yes, also pass the utensils, the spoon,
Can we
fork.
have another one bowl?
Oh,
Yeah.
one bowl.
For the rice of Angela. Excuse me, Maria. Can we ask for another this one?
Bowl. Thank you. How can we tell that it's already enough?
You put your finger here.
I think this needs a spreader. Does it need oil? Yes. It's actually my first time. I don't know how.
Yeah.
Can I have one? I'm just.
You know what? It's kind of interesting.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Wow.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Seems
Kuya.
like it's not your first time, Rina. You're really good at wiping. Char. Very good wipe. I'm just thinking like cooking on.
Me too, so I don't know how to
Cooking
use
on
properly this one.
Are you good there?
The pan.
Yes,
Yes.
we're all good.
I think it's good enough. You have
to put this.
the butter. You have to put the butter. So add a little butter. That's okay.
I don't know say this.
Excuse me. Wow. And we can now start food pork. Which meat?
Anything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Just one, I guess.
Can you please pass the beef steak?
Oh.
Wait.
I
I'll take a video, ha?
Chopstick, guys. Can we have the sauce here? The sauce, what sauce?
Happy eating, everyone!
You know what, guys? Having this setup is new to me, and I was actually searching for the proper etiquette in eating samgyeopsal since this culture isn't ours in Filipino. So that's why I have done my research.
And I didn't watch it. Actually, it's my first time as well. Yeah,
So it's kind of challenging, you know?
my second time. I think most of us is our first time. Yeah. But we, in our house, we do it our own samgyeopsal.
Guys,
Because when we eat outside, it's kind of expensive.
Yeah.
We choose to at least make our own samgyeopsal at home.
it's lesser.
Less expensive.
We have 3 pots in the house, but we don't have this kind of beef and that little we don't have.
What kind of pot do you use at your home?
Actually, like this, same as this.
You have the butane and you just
Yes.
put this.
We also have the electrical one.
Oh,
That's why I don't know how to do this.
I'm sorry.
Is that chicken?
I search on YouTube on how to use chicken. Well, I literally failed on it, so I gave up. No, don't give up. Just start in the process on how to use the glass. Can you pass me some pork and pork? I'm pork. That is pork here. Can I go this one? Actually, when you eat outside, like restaurant, when you must finish the food because you have to pay for the leftover. Yeah, you have to pay. So that's why you need to finish all. I think it's not a problem for me. Because I don't waste food.
There's a policy that no
Because it's
leftovers.
unlimited.
Same as
Yeah. That's why you need to take something finish on, you know.
Yeah, I think it's just good that they put some kind of policies like that in Anli set up since the food is there Anli and I think the owners don't want and also other people don't want to make the food go into waste.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of people who are hungry.
And I think some gifts like around the country are really, expensive, popular.
I thought of you for some sawan.
No, it's for the excess oil.
Yeah, I love these because I am vegetarian. Dear guys, I am a vegetarian. This one here.
Did you realize that it's really, it's a challenge to learn something that's not ours, and it's complicated to acquire another culture like this one, like what we're experiencing. It's just like
Exciting at the same time challenging. Because you have to learn different type of their culture.
Yeah, start eating na.
I think that this is not. It's not more oil. I think the pork will produce an oil. How do you know that it's cooked? Based on its color or color? There's a beef meat here, but I don't think there's a meat here.
no, I don't. I think it's just pork.
It's all pork. because when you eat let us say medium beef, like not well done, it tastes more delicious.
The beef.
Yeah,
I think we're having a hard time here.
yeah. Unlike
Your
over there, they're already eating and we're like struggling here. Yeah, what happened to our
help us.
I guess we can really see the difference between
Oh
a
yeah.
person that knows how to beat first time. I guess we need to turn it off first.
It justifies our first time of experiencing this kind of setup. And I think it relates to how we learn the culture and how we acquire also the language or how we understand, because just like this, when we try to do this kind of setup, it also complicates how we learn other languages as well. It's already hitting up. Broken can be good, no.
I guess we need to
Yeah, I prefer the burn.
well done. Well, this reminds me of my experience when we were having a competition in our in athletics. So this kind of a new thing to me. So, back then in our competition, so I had a difficulty finding the location of where the CR is because the place is new. It's our first time there, so there was a guy just standing, and I asked him, "Kuya, asa ang CR niya?" And then he was like just staring at me, straight staring at me, and I was also staring at him, but I was daydreaming on the mango just right above his head. So it took me for a while to realize that he didn't understand me. So I finally realized it when he just said, "Huh?" So that's when I spoke Filipino so that he can understand me. So, "Kuya, asan po yung CR dito?" So that's after that. So he pointed the direction as well. So another experience is our chaperone. She was angry at us because of a certain incident, and we were like indifferent to her because she was speaking Waray and we can't understand Waray, so we were like indifferent to all her scoldings. So it was hard for us to understand her, but later on she slowly opened up to us and speaking slowly and using a language that we can use, so that it would be hard if she will use hers and we can understand her, and she's our chaperone, so it will be difficult.
Yeah, at least you have found a way to communicate with each other so that you could understand what they're trying to relay or what message are you trying to deliver.
Because if we can't understand them, it will be troublesome.
Yeah. And that's why, the Sangyup is really famous in Asian countries, and Samgyeopsal originated in Korea, right?
Yes.
But aside from Korea, it's also present in Thailand.
Yes.
Yeah. And the experience of Rina, it's just like having this challenge or having the hurdles that you will experience experience when you are trying to communicate with other people who is speaking another language that you don't speak. So you try to find a way that and set a language that you could understand with each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why we have language policy.
Yeah. That's why we have policies in language.
You know what? I have the same experience with Rana. Because originally, I am not from here. I was born in Quezon province. And knowing that our language there is purely Filipino. So my mother is the Bisaya one, but we don't use Bisaya there. We use Tagalog. So when we got there, I was 5 years old. I think I was 5 years old.
In Quezon?
No, I was from Quezon province and we went here. We moved here for good. And it was really a hard time for me because to adjust because you know all the people here is Bisaya and I was the Tagalog one and I was so little back then. I was so young and it's hard for me to cope up, especially in school when my mama sent me to school. It's hard because I wasn't able to understand them. They were speaking Bisaya and I was just there alone. I don't even know what they're talking about. Are they talking about me? It's very frustrating at some point. But you know what? I was very thankful that we have this Tagalog or Filipino language as our means of communication, and it's incorporated in our school as a medium of instruction because my classmates learned how to speak Tagalog and eventually they were able to communicate with me. So it's very important. I was very thankful for the language policy in the Philippines that we have this our national language that we can communicate to other people who have different language with us, and they also know how to speak English, and it's very helpful in communicating.
So, in regards to you, I can also relate, but we just only have different places because way back then when I was in, I guess that was last year, I was in Manila. It's really, it's really hard because since I am not good at speaking in Tagalog, I preferably want to speak English rather than speaking Tagalog. So when I was there, they were laughing at me because on how the way I speak it, on my grammar or the pronunciation and stuff. You'll know that it's really hard to speak Tagalog, especially for us Bisaya. Although not all, but most of. So during that time, they were laughing at me, and of course, I feel hurt a bit because it's normal to speak Tagalog. It's normal to speak Tagalog, even though it's normal to speak Tagalog with, somewhat like a lot of, what do we call this, mistakes. Yeah, that's right. But I was a bit, I was a bit conscious to myself. Did I say it right? Why they are laughing at me? Why they make me feel that you are a dumb like that? But of course, I didn't let those thoughts of mine. I didn't let those laughs, what they have done to me, stops me to learn this Tagalog language. And I'm so thankful that we are here in Visaya. Here in Visaya, there are a lot of, one of our medium of teaching is English. Therefore, I use English to communicate with them in order for us to understand each other, in order for us to at least communicate with one another. So it's hard, but at least I've made a way in order for us to understand each other and to communicate the people in Luzon area or in Manila.
My experience is different from your experience. So I myself experienced language barrier, especially when it comes to traveling different places, which I encounter different culture, beliefs, and tradition. And as a proud gay, it's hard for me to communicate or interact with other people because I use my own language, which is the gay lingua, to express my thoughts, opinions, and expressions. And by this, I realized that learning new languages will guide us to know how language will develop, how language will be acquired, and the policies will help us to think that it's important for us to give a value to our languages. That's my experience.
I also have my experience when, just like Ate Cyril, when I was in Manila on our vacation, we all know that the people there are speaking Filipino language. However, me who speaks Cebuano language was having a hard time, and I was shy when talking to them because I am not used to in speaking Filipino language. And that is one of the reasons why I don't usually interact with them. But the thing is that I didn't embarrass my own language because it's part of my identity and my culture as well. It's important.
I agree with that.
And my experience with, having these challenges when encountering other language aside from what you use for communicating. Because I think, just like what Lovelight said, that policies are really important. It is also relevant to acknowledge the challenges that we encounter, because if it weren't for these challenges, we wouldn't be so, we wouldn't learn the language of other people. Just like how I have these challenges, or how I encounter these problems too, because because my parents work in a company like Greenware. It was called Max back then, and we were moving places to places, and I experienced living in Bohol for 7 years, and yeah, Tagbilaran, the city. We lived there for 7 years because the work of my father was promoted into manager, and we have to move to another city just to provide the family. And I was shocked because when I was a kid, we would just learn a language easily, right? We can just acquire it easily because of LED, the language acquisition device. And when we moved back here, because my mom was originally here from Asin, when we moved back here, I thought that the language in Bohol was just like the language in Maasin. However, I just found out that the type of Bisaya that they use here in Maasin, the accent, the words,
J or
Jad,
J.
and then I was shocked as a child, but then I was able to adapt because of the policies of one.
Yeah, I know that because that was my mother's birthplace.
I actually have a cousin living there.
I also have experience way back in junior year, and there are Australian students who visited our school, and they have some fun with us. And one of the foreigner asked me to look at the CR, and I was sad at the time because I don't know how to speak English. I don't know how to communicate with him because I was just grade 7 at that time, and I don't know how to communicate English or use English fluently. But at the end, I was able to guide and with the basic English language.
That's the most important. At least you found it. And also knowing Australia, the type of English that they speak, it's kind of fast, not like the American.
They have different accents.
Yeah, they have this accent that also they have this accent that makes them speak fast, and we couldn't comprehend it easily. Especially that we have different languages as well. And that is why it's really, we often take for granted these policies, but somehow the language policies are beneficial for us people, the society, every country, students, and us who are pre-service teachers, because we would especially use it someday and we would utilize these policies. It's not, these policies aren't just there because they would restrict us from speaking this or that, but these policies are used to regulate a certain language. So, yeah, so that we can speak them and communicate with others.
Because we all know Philippines is a diverse or multilingual
Yes.
country. We have a lot of languages.
So, another country for this diverse setup is, what do you think? What I think this country is really It's a hint already. It's famous for
Temples.
And also their sticky rice, very yummy.
Yeah, the sticky rice, they're famous as well. So what country do you think it is?
Crumpling style. Just like that.
Apart from Philippines, you also have
Thailand.
So, if we integrate these policies, knowing that there are also countries that is similar with the setup of Philippines, this would really help us, right? In just like what I said earlier, that this would regulate the communicating setups of every people or every learner, right? Yes. So, are we all full? So, how's the experience of this Angyo?
Just quite eye-opening, challenging. Especially the chopstick. Sorry,
We actually put the chopstick here and we use this one.
I don't know how to use plastic, that's why I use spoon and fork.
The color is expensive enough. It's gold. Alright, so I think we're like done with our dinner and now it's
I think
time.
Martone is not done yet. You want some rice?
Are we all good there? We're done.
We have some kimchi.
It's taking its time.
Yes.
But the experience is what? Memorable or unforgettable?
Yeah, so how can you describe the experience of discussing, policies, language while eating the very challenging samgyeopsal? How can you describe the experience?
Of the food.
Let me finish this. Well, eating samgyeopsal was not my first experience, since when I was in Manila, I experienced this first in Manila, samgyeopsal in mall, and the second one is I experienced this in our province, or I think it's our lugar in Hilongos Leyte. Yeah, and it's very commendable because there's also aside from this, they also have the dessert from Korea. Yeah, that's why I'm looking for desserts.
We'll make one later.
So it's not really the first time that you experienced
Yeah.
this. But the first time in Maasin. Here in Maasin.
Yes, in Maasin.
Or in Macaron.
How about you, Angelo? What can you say about the food?
It was quite first time, yes, because all of the food are not from here, yes, and also the chopstick, it's very challenging. It's hard to
Same here.
We got feeling.
yes. And that's why I just utilize this to
Yes.
At least they have spoons.
Yeah.
The power of our Filipino.
Yes. Okay, so I think we've got some notes on the how we integrated the Samgyeopsal, which is from another country, and how we talk about the policies or our experiences in having these barriers and challenges. So today, at least we have some content and we have shared
Share
experiences,
experiences.
something over dinner, of course.
Yes.
And it's a special moment for us who are here today, right?
Yes.
So can we say that we're all good here?
Can we
Yeah.
start with a good start?
Good. Yeah. I think we can close it with another prayer. So can we call you again, Angelo, to close it?
We're so very formal naman. Go.
Yeah.
Let's stand up again for another prayer. In our Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Amen. Thank you, Lord, for this gift we received and also the diverse knowledge that we shared and all the experiences from these people that we shared today at our dinner. And thank you, God, for all of this.
Amen.
Father, Son,
Good evening, everyone. Are we still in the mood to talk about a lot of things today?
Yes!
Yes, be awake because this night is going to be interesting. Alright, so as mentioned in the previous episode, we have compared the Philippines to Thailand. Now let us travel the beautiful country, Thailand, and explore its unique languages and dig deeper. So yeah, who among you here wants to visit the country Thailand?
Of course.
Yes, of course. All of us. Can you share some of your...
Okay, land of smiles. So, from the word smiles, what comes to your mind?
Joy.
Happiness.
Fun.
All about fun, right?
Yes.
They are famous or trend because of the fun they give to us, because of their technology. They offer cheaper things like phones, like cheaper operations, body enhancement, right?
Yes.
So
And one trivia also when it comes to greetings, Thai people greet with two hand bowing gesture called the Y. W-A-I. And it is and this salutation is not only used in saying hello or hi, but also it can be used in thanking someone or apologize.
You mean showing respect?
Yeah.
That's it.
So how do you do that? Can you like demonstrate or do a demonstration?
Like this.
Sawadee.
Yes, Thailand is home to Buddhist temples, exotic foods, flavor dishes.
So I also want to go to Thailand because as part of the LGBT community, Thailand is very open to same-sex marriage, relationships, and they even made movies and dramas for it. So as I am a Filipino, which is very a religious country, it's kind of like, for me, it's a very big privilege for them. And I think the divorce is also legal there. So I think the country is
They're becoming
More democratic.
open with every option that we have in this kind of modern world today.
I also think that we have only one language, but after searching, I found out that we have 73 languages.
Yeah. 51
Indigenous.
indigenous. So I think their Thai language is also called historically called Siamese. Siamese. Yeah.
And also they are home of immigrant languages like Chinese,
Cambodian.
But the most common is Burmese.
Burmese, yes, Burmese,
820,000.
French, and their second language is English.
They have this variety of languages. But can I ask if, because I didn't really dig deep about those languages, but I'm well aware that they have these 75 languages. But are these languages still present, or do they still practice these
Some
languages?
are not practiced anymore.
Some are dead.
Dead.
Dead languages.
Approximately 73 languages are still alive.
Alive.
Yes, the government established a policy right that they have set central language Thai. It's called Thai.
They are focusing on their own language, but they also speak English, especially when they interact with tourists or foreigners that visit their country.
Yes, many Thai people study English in schools and independently. And it is apparent in business, Bangkok.
So did they include the English course or a subject?
Yes.
Yes.
In government and in education.
One of their majors, English, especially in elementary education up to their tertiary education. They teach students how to speak English.
Some study it independently, business purposes.
So they really do this stuff in which they have to learn in their own for their own goals, so that they would be able to reach their goals or dreams, like
Globally competitive. Yeah, we're
like
especially
in
Thailand is an open country where
Diverse people are living there.
yeah, especially that just like what Cap said, that they're open to LGBT people and like same-sex marriage and cheaper technologies, and also I think it's rampant today, the enhancement physically.
Yeah, it's more cheaper,
and of course
but authentic. Cheaper but authentic. That's why many trans Pinay go there to Thailand. Then they want to change their physical appearance because it's cheaper then, but it's authentic.
And in order for them to understand with one another, they have to use this common language, which is the worldly language, English language, in order for them to understand one another.
Yes, I agree with you, Ate Cyril, because as we all know, English is our universal language, which most of the country uses it as our second language to communicate with other people.
But there is also an interesting fact, because there are some villages that they speak Chinese language rather than Thai. You'll hear more about Chinese rather than Thai.
It's because near China businesses.
But their pronunciation is not quite,
Fluent.
Yeah.
When it comes to English, right?
Because there's a subtle difference between the tones and consonants. As Thai language being a tonal language, words can change meaning depending on the tone.
How they speak like that.
And I want to add, Japanese is their popular secondary language before they overshadow Chinese language.
Interesting.
They are practicing national language.
Yes, national language.
In 2006, the Thai national language policy was launched. This aimed to make Thai as the national language and to promote the fluency of English language and of English language and also to acknowledge minority language because as you mentioned earlier, there are almost over 70 minor languages.
Yeah.
So they have to make policies in order to acknowledge this languages because this is what other people makes unique with their language and they have to nourish it because many languages have died they were diminished by another language so it's important that
Yeah, they even hold the other languages as national treasures. Yeah, so that they cherish the alive languages that the minority languages.
this is part of the culture, our language.
What I also admire is Thailand despite the differences, also the conflict about the policies of language and not the policies of language. What I also admire about them is they are also hardworking and hardworking. Also communicating other people that diba Thailand they interest and they also syempre communicate to other people and of course naiuban na di katibog mo English despite na di sila katibog mo English they are also trying to communicate other people just to they are also
That's why Thailand was called or being called as the city of smiles. Even because they interact with people, they don't understand each other, but they use their smile to give connection, and that's a relationship.
So in that case, you have a big possibility or great chance to teach in the near future.
Actually, guys, there are Pinoy teachers who go to Thailand to teach because English language is very important, but then Thai language also.
You have to like treat these languages fairly, equally, not
Yes.
just treating one as the dominant or one. You have to like integrate these languages and utilize it as their own because they have their specialty or it is unique in their own ways. And we cannot say that a language is special because it is what the common people uses, but it is the part of who they are or what they are, and that's why language and culture is they go together as one.
But guys, do you think that learning Thai language has conflict or has a problem?
There's a problem with Thai dominance of Thai language and their culture because other minor language has been diminished because they were focusing on their national language which is Thai and they forgot to acknowledge the other minor languages. That's why we have the language policy in order to balance everything and to make importance of every language without neglecting other languages, indigenous languages.
So that means that language policy is very important.
It saturates everything.
It balances everything also.
And as much as we can say that Thailand has these diverse culture, knowing that they have these 70 plus languages, it is really important to acknowledge these languages that they would be empowered to use this and not just phasing these languages out because sometimes we often take language for granted, right? Because let's say for example we just use always a certain language to communicate with people, and we would forget what is our own language. So that language would be forgotten, and that is the sad thing about making these languages die. So as much as possible, it is really important to take a grasp of their importance and make it as your own or embrace it. And I know that Thai people are just like what Marie said, that they are really hardworking. I know that they are able to utilize these languages and not forget the language of their.
That's why we have to incorporate these policies in education system because in school we learn everything. So we are using Thai as their medium of instruction, and sometimes they forget to use their indigenous languages, and that's conflict, and that's given a solution. That as what I've mentioned, we should nourish other languages because it's part of our culture and it's important to us. We should address it.
And language reflects our identity. And guys, what do you think are the solutions?
Solutions would be it would vary from different problems, because we need to address these problems properly, because after knowing these problems, we would be acknowledging the solutions. Like for example, when we say, what did you say earlier, Rina? Like how they pronounce? Yeah, the tonal. First things first, the tonal. Of course, we couldn't control how they pronounce their words, because that's how they are. That is how they are projected to pronounce things, how they talk. At least they are trying to say or utter the English language or even other languages. But that's why we need to properly address a certain problem. In that case, for the tonal, for example, let's say we can compare it to us. We came from Visayas, and when we say or when we pronounce English words, it is in the first time, or when we don't practice it, we can encounter problems, and that is the same case with the type. Yeah,
The accent.
So by acknowledging this problem, we would offer the appropriate solutions. So from that, for example, when we say dying languages, it is important that these dying languages, we didn't control it, because in our world today, we are setting the lingua franca that bridges the gap to other people when we are communicating. And siguro, if you want to give legit solution, it is to properly educate people.
Through education.
Yeah, researches, education. Yeah, and also first, the most important thing is to understand.
Yes. Respect also. You have to respect, because we all know that we are coming from different country, we are coming from, and there are a lot of different variations of language, and we have to respect on how the way they speak, on how the way they pronounce, and we need to understand one another, because in order to avoid that conflict and in order to create a communication with one another and understanding. Respect the word. That comes first.
So let's talk about their culture. Any one of you?
When it comes to their foods,
Foods. Exotic.
yeah, they are very. Thailand is known for their exotic foods, like they eat what you call this, like
Live.
live, oh, like rats, scorpions.
But I think it's a misconception to say that they just directly eat an insect. I think they are more on cultivating that particular insect before eating it.
Yes.
Of course, because kanang if you are trying to eat it directly, of course, us as human beings, we worry about our health, right? So I think it's a misconception about like how we react to how they do or what's their culture. I think they enjoy cultivating these types of exotic.
I have a friend in Thailand, so one of the reasons they eat live insects is because they actually pray before they eat. The insects will be like, like after they eat, they will gain energy, like.
Because it's from nature.
So it's kind of like a religious thing.
Like them believe.
Oh, belief.
Belief.
Because Thailand also was known for being a religious country. They have many temples. They worship.
And they have certain practices in the temples has their own practices, but most requires their guests to dress conservatively by covering their shoulders and knees and removing their shoes before entering sacred places.
Yes, but I do have a question. When diba, right, we are talking about how religious they are and how they are close with their faith or beliefs. But the thing is, how are they able to adapt easily with the emerging, the recent, what do we call this, the trends in the societies? For example, let's go back with the LGBT. They are known for creating or formulating BL series, and we can say that the church or the religious in that aspect, I think they're not really that supportive. But how are they able to adapt that easily? That's the big question mark there. Because if we say that they're religious and then here comes when they adapt it easily, and also when it comes to body changing, the enhancements, we are taught, we are all here closely to religious aspect, and we are taught that we are not going to change it's present in the Bible verse, right?
Yeah.
So the question is, how are they able to adapt it easily, knowing that they have these kinds of beliefs, they have these religious people,
Maybe because it's
Different from us.
It's because through language, because language is very powerful.
And also, I think they can easily adopt it because people of Thailand was known for being liberated or open to everything. That's why they have this understanding to easily understand each other's perspective when it comes to if a person wants to change his or her physical appearance, right? So there's nothing wrong with it, unless you yourself will also change what God given to you.
I think they're talking about
Respect of
So they're trying to balance people's
Mindset, I
how do
think.
we say this? People's preferences,
Choices.
like choices in life. Like if a person chooses to be religious, they can be religious. If a person chooses to be conservative, they can be conservative. If they can be liberated, then
That's why people of Thailand are most successful because they are supporting each other, not in a bad way, but in a good way.
it really resonates with us since when we are able to do things, we are using languages to address these problems. And I think by doing that first, this is why Thailand is a progressive country. And we can say that they are not just doing this or doing that to, kind of go with the trend or for cloud, but
with
they're
a purpose.
yeah, they're doing this to respect each people's choices.
Have their freedom.
Yeah.
They also exploit how good they are in that.
And also, this is why the language is, like how Ram said, that language is powerful. Since you wouldn't be able to do these things without communicating. Of course, there would be an individual who will use his or her language to influence others. And that is the first step to inspire and motivate others.
And also learning other languages connects people, connects other cultures, and by that we will be able to give respect and same treatment to everybody. Yes, because one success is everybody's success.
And that is why Thailand is, we can say that as our generation could know the country for its, the liberation that they have, the series that they have, or the dress that they have, even the technologies that they have. However, they are trying to be a country wherein the growth and development is present through language and also its culture. Although some of their language were phased out or extinct or bad, but here they are doing their thing, they're trying, they're communicating, as long as they won't
Hurt other people.
hurt other people. And I think it's better to reflect on it as Filipinos who have 150 plus languages. But no, more to come. More to come.
So should I book our ticket to Thailand?
Yeah! Count us in! Count us in!
Maybe soon we can go there.
Yeah. And
Claiming it. Claiming.
Come on, Papunos.
The ranges to 12 to 15K.
Yeah.
really?
Yes.
That's right.
I have a friend.
Filipinos go there.
I have a friend. She was 18 years old then. Her pocket money was all 20K. Then she stays in Thailand for 1 week. But for only just 20K. Then she also traveled Cambodia, Wanra, kind of what you call this, bus ride.
Country hopping.
For that 20K naka-travel na si Ja.
Wow, that's good. That's really inspiring. Shall I get my nose job there?
I think you should ask Mami Tony. Or ask Ivan 40. Kidding aside.
I think our eyes are trying to close.
It's
Time.
Fighting their eyes at all.
Yeah, I think our eyes is fighting not to sleep.
I learned a lot. From you. Yeah. That's the most important thing that we have learned in this conversation.
And the setup also is very, very childish, but somewhat chillin'.
Yeah. It's just, we're free to speak, express what we think about those topics.
It inspires me to go to Thailand.
Indeed.
So before
as
we
much-
end,
yeah.
let's always remember that language policy is very important.
Since it regulates language and I think every country has its language
Yeah.
policy because every country has its language, especially in Thailand.
And I hope that our learning from today or for tomorrow's, we can teach this to our future students or young learners.
Alright. As much as we'd like to, unravel things about language, but I think that our eyes are
Time check!
dropping now. Time check.
It's 12:15.
Right. So
It's more night.
yeah, I think we're gonna end this conversation because we are waking up early. Yeah. Alright, so guys, we're pick up process and then we're going to
Yeah, no, we're going to Thailand.
We're going to Thailand.
See you in our next episode!
Let's dream.
Hi mga ka-wonder! Sana out ang beauty lining.
We will we talk about the city smells of Thailand, where we talk about their culture, the language policy, the conflict language between Thai language, English language. And what we talked about our last episode, we're going to share our learning where we can provide something to the beauty of language. Yes. What have you learned about our language? So episode 1 to episode 2.
For me, with this podcast, I learned that learning different languages really help us to connect or reconnect with people and to respect their culture as well.
Also breaking language barriers. Also, I would like to share something what I've learned our previous episodes. Our two languages. First is about the language of Thailand and also the advantage of having a multilingual country. First, I have realized that the language of Thailand is very hard to learn, especially when it is a tonal and they found out that they have a 73 letter in the alphabet and 73 letters in the alphabet and to learn these things it is very hard because as what I've mentioned it's very tonal and we're not native from that kind of language. And in order for us to learn, we have to adapt to their way of speaking. And also, the advantage of having a multilingual country, I have also learned that we are very privileged of having that kind of space because we have the upper hand to talk to other people like parents and we can easily communicate to them speaking that language like the foreign language the English language. So how about you guys?
How did you comprehend those two last episodes that we have, formulated? Did you learn or what are your like takeaways exploring the country Thailand? Because for me, Thailand is really unique and they have a lot of languages and just like how Angelo explained that the alphabets were 72. And knowing these alphabets, it does, resonate with how they speak, their culture, and how diverse they are. And for me, that is somewhat, like beautiful country. Oh my God. I know it's really hard to speak in this setup because
Avoid the rush.
Continue. Yeah, and I know the way they disturb us because
You can understand English.
yeah, the waves are really challenging us with this setup, and I think we've had a lot of fun. Although there is a wave at our back, right? Yes, so just like what I've said earlier, that Thailand is somewhat a beautiful country. You can learn a lot by, like what Angela said, that it can become your advantage or it can benefit you. And us as educators in the near future, because we're also we can be equipped by this knowledge we have today and use it. Very important be educated, right?
yeah.
Through education, there's practice the language, we can understand rules and how this language is. And then we can't deny that Thailand is that Thai language is weird, right? Yeah. And it's prone to hacking. We also, I admit, I also make fun of their language because of its weird speaking, way of speaking. And then through education, through our shared information,
episode, I have learned a lot that really and how their language is like their culture and and also in order for us to achieve effective communication or connection, we have to educate. I also have said that I also somehow mock the language in a way because they speak differently. I mean, they're unique, and I have seen the movie. Oh, I mean, series. Do you know Boys Over Flowers? Yeah. Yes, and I just found out that they have made a movie like that, or a series perhaps. And I was kind of like not hearing it the same way with the other language. That's why I also with what Love Life has said that I am part of those people who kind of mock them or what you call being weirded out by how they speak. But as I was growing up, I learned that you have to respect what they are like, who they are, and their language, their culture. And of course, our podcast or these 2 episodes or even 3 episodes, I have learned a lot by respecting other people's culture, especially in Thailand, because it is a neighbor country. Yes. And we should be, understanding enough to acknowledge what we have and also relate with the culture that they can offer. Because as Filipinos, we have also a lot of culture, we have a lot of languages, and by respecting and understanding Thailand, we can relate it within ourselves too. So, to those of you, do you have some like notes about the 2 episodes, or was it how do we say this? Was it full of content? Did it matter to you? And how did you reflect with these 2 episodes? Did you learn from it? Yes. So, how about sharing this with us today so that we can fully, exchange ideas, right? Yes. So, can you share what you have in your mind right now?
We all know that we have lots of languages all over the world. However, despite our languages that we have, we should not forget to respect each other's languages, since it's part of their culture and their identity as well. When you respect one's language, it is part of creating inclusion. You should see them as individuals with lots of differences, not as problems or inferior to this world. And with that, through language, we can understand ourselves and others, and then we can also connect with each other effectively.
And for me, I have learned the other side of Thailand, not the side that is stressed, the side that the sending one, the deeper how do I say this? The deeper in the Thailand.
By understanding them, we are able to connect with them too. And also, I think when I'm with policy, we realize how important it is to preserve their minority language as a national treasure. I say that
Philippines and Thailand is regarding in languages. We also have a lot of languages. We also have our national language. So there's just a similarity between our country, Philippines, and Thailand. Yes, and despite of those great languages, it is not, it doesn't understand using that universal language, right? So it is very beneficial to us or even all people, this policy, because it helps us to at least share our knowledge, share our traditions, and it also helps us to be especially for us students, it also helps us to create a critical, it helps us create it helps us have a critical thinking, to share, to have this, share our knowledge, share our culture. Diba? Despite those challenges, we did not let those challenges stop us, build a barrier. Instead, we break those barriers in order to connect with one another. Instead of building barriers, we create a bridge in order for us to at least share whatever we have, because if we share, others might learn and vice versa. Like that. And that's true language policy. Yeah. Language policy is also connection and relationship and find policies and build harmony.
And also embracing our own languages or other languages really help us or make us more prouder of being who we are.
Yes. But we should also not forget our mother tongue.
Even though we are learning different language, but we also need to keep some language from our mother tongue, right? So we should not forget where we come from.
Let's not neglect.
Yeah, that's a very important.
And the value we give to our language really reflects our own identity of for being a person of knowledge like that.
Yeah, and then we should not like at least be ashamed of our own language because we think they might think that their language is better than us. No, there is no better. All of the languages are equal. It's just that there is this barrier for the reason that we cannot understand with one another. So that this policy might help us to at least understand with one another using the universal and of course our very own language, Filipino, and in Thailand, the Thai language.
Wow, that's good. And I agree with you. How about the others? What are your thoughts?
I always get amazed thinking that we have the right language.
Yeah, there are a lot of languages. Yeah, it makes us proud. And although it's more like we can see it as a challenge, but somehow, just like what you said, it makes us proud. That we have these languages. Imagine 100, and then yeah, and also with Thailand, they have and the waves are also challenging.
But the waves does not stop us.
As what Moana said, the waves are calling.
And just to add with what we have talked about, I really believe that as individuals, we should be more certainly we should be worried about the restrictions because there is somehow we can say that a certain language, a certain norm, a certain culture might be acceptable to us, but not with others. That is something something to understand because we, as individuals, we are unique and we have different personalities, we have different characteristics. But when we are, understanding enough and respectful enough, we can
bridge, make a bridge to the gap that we have as different people around the world. And it would really help us in the future.
And especially that we are a language.
And just like what Mario has said earlier, that Thailand and Philippines
Are almost the same.
yeah, almost the same. We are also not with how we speak. Yeah, how we pronounce how we pronounce the word. But I know that Filipinos can be educated, easily be educated. Yes, we are known for our flexibility.
Our education, we are globally competitive. That's why many foreign policies go abroad because of our language and our accent.
And that makes us motivated.
I need to keep
Siguro we may found this like a problem, no, in at our age because we're still young and
We're still in the process of
yeah,
learning.
we're still learning, and we are, honored to be part of this modern day. Even though this kind of modern day is yeah, we are labeled that many are often labeled as problematic, but as what I have observed, then our generation today or our world today is more adaptive with the changes. Yeah, we're open with the changes, and that speaks more about who we are. And these policies, these programs were, formulated. And just like what we found in the last episode last night, these program policies are used to regulate the language, the people, how we communicate with one another. Important that we will be, acknowledging this president. Because if it weren't for these policies and programs, we wouldn't be talking like this today. In our three episodes, with how we carried out our tasks on a daily basis. So it is really relevant that we would be, have an in-depth knowledge about this. Not just a future teacher, but also independent individuals. So I think this, this content that we have today, it is really insightful in a way that we have, as what we would repeat always, we have good ideas, and it is really, helpful, not just how we exchange our thoughts, but also how we help each other by, inspiring one another. It gets more clear. Yeah. Especially that we are first timers. Yes. And siguro all of us are of a challenge, but I am encouraging us to make this challenge into, make these setbacks into a comeback, and we come back stronger. Yes. Even though the waves are really challenging. And I think it's going to rain. So yeah, I will be raining going. Raining going. It hasn't rained yet. So sum it all up, languages, not just in Thailand, not just in Philippines, we have to treat each language and we have to give value to it has its own, uniqueness, and we have to take care of the language that we use. Because in our world today, everything gets taken advantage, taken for granted, even the. So I think that's what is the most important of, having this conversation that we have today. So we did. Yeah, and I think we have learned Kaman now, and we will continue learning. And with that, let's go back swimming! Yeah!
And that's it. Thank you for listening to our 3-part podcast. I hope you've learned something. Have a nice day and God bless.